You're getting off track with Justin and Josh.
Let's go. I know you're going to dig this.
And not quite as cool of an intro as we had last week, but
that was going to be hard to top.
It really is. I mean, my rap skills were immaculate in that thing.
Oh, my God.
You probably actually thought that was Eminem rapping there for a while, but not knowing that I did that from top to bottom.
I hope Eminem's not listening to this because you're going to be his next beef.
No kidding. I don't want beef with Eminem. He ends careers. I remember what happened to Ja Rule. And Benzino and everyone else he had problems with. But we're back for the third podcast of our return. Yeah, there you go. Comeback. And no guest this week, but Josh, I'd say we've had an equally crazy week.
Yeah,
yours might be a little bit crazier than mine, but
yeah, we really have. We had Labor Day, so we had a long
Labor
weekend.
Day was fun. My Labor Day was a lot more laid back. We went to the pool and it was fun, but my allergies decided to start attacking, and I thought I went blind there for a while. I literally got to a point at the pool for about a good 20 minutes where I could not hardly keep my eyes open. But it was still the pool, so it felt good. But how was your Labor Day weekend?
Oh, it was fantastic. Speaking of allergies, you want some advice
Yes.
from an allergy sufferer?
Yes.
Is that right? Sufferer?
Allergy sufferer.
Yeah.
Allergy.
Someone who suffers from allergies.
A fellow allergy victim.
Yes, there we go. Good way to bring us back. The best allergy medicine you can buy is like the off-brand from Sam's Club.
Man, is it like
I've been in some at Walmart too, but it's like the generic, like Zyrtec brand or whatever. Zyrtec doesn't work for me at all. The generic brand does.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't take it, would you have itchy eyes?
Oh God,
and
yeah, all the time. Like my nose would constantly run and my eyes would constantly itch. You'd see me doing this, my eyes would be red like yours now.
See, and I read somewhere that you have two different types of allergies, and they're caused by two different things, which is why, because I don't typically get allergies going from winter into spring and then summer and all of that. I get them going from summer into fall, and I read somewhere that in the fall you have more dead things floating in the air. You've got mold, you've got certain types of mites, ragweed. A lot of stuff like that is going because things are dying as the season changes and they release things and that's why it affects me. In the spring, you've got life, so you've got you got pollen and stuff floating, so you got reproductive juices and dust floating everywhere.
That makes sense.
So that's why certain people are affected at certain, and some people, I'm going to go southern here and say bless their hearts, suffer from both. That I couldn't imagine having this twice a year.
I'm really bad in the springtime. The fall is not quite as severe, but springtime, if I didn't take those, I wouldn't be able to function at all.
Just see it.
So check that out, generic brand.
I'm going to definitely check that out. It's like I'm all for nature reproducing with each other, but it's like, do you have to include us in your affairs? I mean, can't you aim a little better?
When you said dead things floating in the air, I picture dead dogs and cats floating around.
Oh, gosh.
This is why my allergies are messing up.
We're traveling to the deep, dark depths of Josh Marlowe's mind. Dead puppies and kittens.
Let's get back on Labor Day.
Yeah, Labor Day.
No, I had a great Labor Day. We went up to the New River and spent some time with some friends up there and had a blasty blast.
And now what did you guys do at the river?
Hung out, tubed, drank a lot of adult beverages. We ate dinner Sunday night in the river from a Ziploc bag. And I know that doesn't sound funny, but if you could have seen it, it was funny. Because we're sitting there gathered around this one big tube, and we're all have our beer stuck on the tube or whatever. So we're just sitting there drinking, talking. And this guy, Andy, was there. And this was my first time ever meeting Andy, because I knew his brother, Chad, really well. We got to become pretty close friends. So Andy's there, and Andy is crazy as the day is long, which I love. That's the type of personality that really gets me going.
Right.
If you were crazy, not possessed crazy, but that doesn't get me going.
True. I mean, I understand. I wouldn't want to hang out with a possessed person either.
Not that type of crazy. Not you need to be in a mental institute crazy, but just wide open crazy. That's what really gets me going. That's what fuels me. And now I don't know. Anyways, so back to the story. So
You're
we're
like
sitting
Mike Brooks from 98.3
Yes.
Wide Open.
Yes.
Just someone that's always happy.
Well, he's very witty and sarcastic, which is like my favorite thing. If you have like instant sarcasm, like to the point, I don't care if you hurt my feelings. I just want to like hit me good. Like I'm like Mike Tyson. Knock me the F out. Come on, let's hear some stuff. I want to spar.
We need to cue in Pat Benatar's Hit Me With Your Best Shot.
Yeah, so that's what he is. So we're sitting there like we're drinking this, and I was like, God, I am so hungry. I wish we had some food. So out of his life jacket, he starts pulling his Ziploc bag out, and he's like, ugh. I managed to grab some stuff while I was up there grabbing beer, and it's like chicken wings, ribs, corn on the cob.
This was stuffed in his life jacket?
Yeah, in a gallon-sized Ziploc bag. So we all start passing the bag around and eating food. It was awesome.
Any guy that keeps chicken legs, ribs, and things in his vest here to share with everyone is someone that I invite to be around anytime.
That's right. So, Andy, if you were listening, you were the man.
The man. Well, hey, I want some of those ribs.
Speaking of that, I told you that we had a conversation that we had to talk about.
Right.
And I have seen another example of this week. Here it is. And ladies, don't be offended. But this is the deep conversation we had at 2 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. Have you ever noticed, and I meant to bring this up to you, but I thought, well, this would be a perfect conversation for the podcast. I'm not singling out women here because I'm sure this is some guys too. And this is not a cut on women. I still love my wife just as much after I say this. But you ever notice, every woman at some point in time in their life, you're going to see a crazy side of them.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a crazy side that you would almost wonder if they are possessed.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to probably see it 4 or 5 times in a lifetime. It's not an all-the-time thing, but it's like every 2 or 3 years, you're going to see something that's going to be like, do I need to call somebody?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I got the preacher on the phone right now. Because this guy was up there, and he was been dating this girl for 2 years, and they were talking about how they went to Andy's house. And Andy's like, I saw a side of your girlfriend I never want to see again. He's like, I thought about calling a priest. And
Talking about Beth?
No. This other guy.
Oh,
there.
okay.
So he's like, I saw a side of your girlfriend I never want to see again. He's like, I thought about calling a priest there for a while. And she was like, I don't even know what it was. Like, I only had a half a beer. I don't even know what it was. If I was me, I'd be like, I got wasted. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I was wasted. I'm like, you're just doing nothing but digging yourself a bigger hole.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, man, so he was like, yeah, she did get crazy, but that's the only time I've ever seen in 2 years. So I'm not really worried about it. And I was like, take it from me. I've been with someone for we're on the verge of 8 years right now. You are going to see it again. I was like, I love my wife to death, but you are going to see that
crazy
switch
will reappear.
Yes. It's maybe not tomorrow, maybe not from another 2 years, but you're going to see it again.
All ladies have to have it, which is why I say, there's like the old expression, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. I mean,
this is right.
That came from truth.
Women are wired differently than men. We all know that, and maybe that's why. Like I said, some guys, yes, I get it. Some guys
are just as emotional and crazy sometimes. They can be. I mean, it's like I can be crazy sometimes, but it's like, especially a girl with a boyfriend.
Yeah. I don't even know what stems it. Like, what brings it on? I mean, because it's like a flash of lightning. It could be a sunny day, you're having a great time, and all of a sudden, it's on like Donkey Kong. Like I said, you're thinking about calling a priest.
I'll tell you what'll bring out crazy in a guy. All you have to do is all the girl has to say is, my ex just called me. Then you will see the crazy in the guy. You know what I mean? It's like, especially, you and Beth being together 8 years, I don't think that there are any exes that are very
I'd be like,
recently.
who?
Right, but it's like, if someone was to just approach her and start hitting on her or something, that's when you would see your own crazy.
Right. And I refute that because you will not see my crazy if Beth's ex calls her. As a matter of fact, I would probably laugh my tail off because I know her ex. We used to be friends. Like, this is the circle of life right here. When she was dating her ex, which I won't name his name because I don't want to call him out because he lives a sad life right now. But anyways.
Oh, wow.
I'll explain.
Is it all because Beth left him?
No. I don't know. Maybe that's what triggered the downfall. Who knows? But when they were dating, that's when we were like really tight then.
Uh-huh.
So that's how I really became to know Beth, was they were dating and they had broke up. But he lives I don't know if he currently does, but like I'd say in the last 6 months, he lives near her parents. So we would go to her parents all the time, and we would see him walking up down the road. And he went from like normal, straight up guy like me and you to now he wears like the cartoonish looking hoodies, like my pants are hanging down. I want to be a rapper. But he's literally living in like a lawnmower shack behind someone's house that they've attached a front door to.
Huh.
Yeah, so if called Beth, I'd be like, I'd probably laugh. I would not feel in the least little bit intimidated because now he has a unibrow too.
Well, that definitely means you should not be intimidated. Do not fear the unibrow. Well, yeah, that's how you can see a guy is crazy. If an ex, it's just like I saw a little meme and it was perfect. It was actually more like a GIF, I guess, but it was like a dude was sitting there playing like a video game and his girlfriend's like, "I'm hungry," and he don't respond, and then she's like, "My ex just texts me." A dude drops his thing and turns around and is like, "What'd he say?" It's like that is the perfect way to see a guy is crazy. But women don't go playing with that though. It's
no.
Like, once you unleash the crazy of a guy of your boyfriend on an ex, it's hard to shut that. I mean, it's the same thing with a girl though. My God, tell your wife or girlfriend your ex was trying to hit on you.
Oh Lord.
And you've just opened up a can. And, cans don't close back. When you open a can, it's open for good. And, I mean, it's the same way with that part, so. No, you're right. I mean, I would say that in most relationships. There's a side of that you're not going to know.
Yeah, and it's going to hit you like a Mack truck all at one time. A Mack truck that you never saw coming.
Oh, yeah. That's why I said, that's why the whole, which we won't delve into that, but you've got the whole, woman military thing when people are like, I don't think women are tough enough for the military. I'm like, obviously, you ain't never pissed one off.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you that's certainly not the case. But, all right, so as we move into it, sometimes we do Would You Rather, sometimes we do Random Facts. Well, now I have a whole slew of random facts for us today. And this will be the educational point of the show, which if she's listening, my neighbor told me that she liked the new podcast, but she didn't laugh as much at it. So let me explain. With this new podcast, what we're trying to do is it's really, really hard.
Hold up.
Yeah, hold on. It's really, really hard with another job to constantly be coming up with skits and to come up with stuff to prepare to have this ready to rock by Friday. That's a hard task to do. And on top of that, we're just working on our own budget here.
Right.
So what we agreed to do with this podcast is we agreed, and I mean, and some of you have messaged and said you like it much more with conversational pieces. But what we've decided is every once in a while, if we can come up with a funny skit, we'll do it. And just games and all kinds of stuff. But right now, it's kind of, right now it's a mixture more of conversation and some comedy. It's like when we think of a skit, we'll record it. We'll put it on there. We're not rushing. This takes effort to put together. So we decided with this. For those that haven't noticed, this comeback is going to be funny, but it's also going to be conversation focused.
So she said it's not as funny.
That is correct,
Diane. What do we have to do? I don't understand, Diane. How are we not? Are we not entertaining you?
I feel like an ex. It's like, what did I do wrong?
I know, I feel like I need to come visit you now and ask, what do I need to do to step it up?
It's come with a little a little clipboard. Like, Diane, I noticed recently you placed a complaint with getting off track in podcasting services. Could you tell me what your complaint was?
On a scale from 1 to 10, how is the comedy? 1 being none, 10 being hilarious.
0 is not a choice, Diane. But yeah, so for those that didn't know, which I'm not, she knows I'm not calling her out. Diane is awesome. I'm just saying that she said she liked it.
I'm calling her out. I want to know what the problem is.
She said she likes it. She just didn't find it as funny as she used to find it absolutely hilarious as she thought. But I told her, I said, it's more conversational this time, which is, so for those that didn't know, now you do.
Right.
But a lot of you.
While I'm thinking about it, because I've had this image in my head ever since you said comeback. I have the 1968 Elvis Presley comeback vision in my head. When he was gone doing movies for 10 years, then all of a sudden, bam, he's back on the scene. He's wearing the black suit. You're like, God, he's a badass now. And he's totally this is going to be awesome. And then the comeback starts out and he's doing his old numbers. You're like, this is okay. I can deal with this. This is not bad. But as it progresses, it builds up to this climatic thing, and you're like, oh my God.
See, Diane,
So
what
we
Josh
wait.
means is we're as good as Elvis.
Right. We're as good as Elvis. You just need to wait. Good things are coming.
Let's see. All right, some random facts for you. Ketchup used to be sold as medicine.
I can believe that.
I bet it sold well.
Do you know it's also a good cleaner?
I did not.
Like, say if you have like an old grill, like a flat iron grill or like a pan or something, and you want to clean it really good, heat it up and put some ketchup in it.
I did not know that. I
People
would
like-
definitely have to
Some people
have.
think, oh, it'll probably burn. Yeah, don't let it sit there for 4 hours, but put it in there, let it heat up really good, and then like scrub your pan. The vinegar and the acid base in it will clean it very well.
I didn't know that. I definitely would have probably OD'd on ketchup back in the day.
I used to eat ketchup sandwiches, not even gonna lie.
I love ketchup. I don't know if I love it that much, but I definitely love ketchup. Here's a fact. Try to breathe and swallow at the same time. You can't.
Yeah.
You cannot breathe and swallow at the same time. Let's see here. I don't know if we've ever done this one before. I feel like we have, but even if we have, it's a refresher being that people are still going to the beach. If you're worried about sharks, they are a threat. I'm terrified of sharks. But did you know coconuts kill more people than sharks every year? So do cows.
I can believe that on some cows.
I've seen the cow memes going around. All right. The state of North Dakota. What do you think the most common language there is, honestly?
In North Dakota,
What would you think,
like the Native American, the Sioux language or whatever.
No, just English
Oh,
is
okay.
what you would... The second most popular language in
Oh,
North
so it
Dakota
was English?
is German.
So English was the first.
Yeah.
I should have guessed that. We are in America. Jesus.
America.
What are you doing, Josh?
You commie bastard.
But German?
Moving down here, or down this list. If
That's
you're in a
Space
room
Jam.
with... Do what?
That's a Space Jam photo.
That is a Space Jam.
What a good movie.
No kidding. Oh, that's cool. The official Space Jam website has not changed since 1996. So Space
Nice.
Jam's website is a year and a half away from being unchanged for 20 years, man. I cannot believe it's been that long.
God, that is crazy.
Way to make me feel old. Let's see. If a day on the planet Venus is longer than a year on the planet Venus.
What now?
I don't understand how that works, but it's on the internet. It has to be true.
It has to be true.
But it says a day on the planet Venus is longer than a year on the same planet.
Is this one of the... Well, hold up.
It could be they're judging it by total circles around the sun, and perhaps because it's all about how the planet rotates on its axis as it goes around the sun, as to sun up, sun down.
I'm pretty sure you got that one off that Jaden Smith inspirational quotes instead of random
I
facts.
saw one thing he said. He was like 1% lasts forever. I was like, what does that even mean?
Well, no, it don't.
But and somebody was like, Jaden Smith's just a boy. You said he's a moron. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know he's a kid. I know he's an early teen, and early teens say dumb things. But put it this way. If I were 13, for however old he is, and putting that type of thing out on social media, I assure you, my dad would have equally agreed. Yeah, he's a moron.
Yep, he's a dummy.
Regardless of age. Let's see, just a few more here. If you are in a room with 23 people, there's more than a 50% chance that 2 of the people have the same birthday. That's pretty cool. I'd love to test that statistic. Just get 23 random people, and there's a 50% chance.
Mythbusters, where you at?
Yeah, no kidding. Jump on that one. I didn't know that Beethoven and George Washington were alive at the same time. In fact, George Washington was in his 40s when Beethoven was born.
Really?
I didn't know that.
I thought Beethoven was like been before George Washington.
Huh. No kidding. I did too. The last veteran of the American Civil War died in 1959, long enough to see the atomic bomb dropped on Japan. So just think at the evolution of warfare that man saw.
I wonder if he was a Yankee or Confederate. 'Cause I know there was I would say, actually, when did it say he died?
1959.
I would bet my life he was a Confederate guy, because I remember it was a news story. I can pull it up and show it to you later. But the country singer, because I like classic country, and a singer we play on the station, the one I work on, is Johnny Horton. And Johnny Horton had a song called Johnny Reb that he sang to the last Confederate veteran in 1959.
That might have been it. All right, 2 more here. All right. I don't even... 111,111,111 times itself equals, and I'm just gonna, it equals, up in the trillions or billions, but I'm just gonna say it in numeric form because that's what makes this whole thing interesting. So that times itself equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's pretty cool, and you're just using ones there. So, like I said, that is 111,111,111 times itself.
Like, could you imagine the person that thought of that? I just want to talk to them. Like, what are you doing for your life?
No kidding.
Like, I have better things to do besides. Let me take some random numbers and multiply them and see what I come up with.
Now, lastly, Josh, you are a fan of older things. Did you ever watch the cartoon Popeye? Can you name his nephews 4 names? Or his 4 nephews' names?
No, I know.
They're pretty interesting. You've got Pip-Eye, Peep-Eye, Pup-Eye, and lastly, Poop-Eye.
I remember that.
I remember.
I always remember Wimpy's like, a hamburger today and $1 tomorrow.
It's like, I remember watching it. I just didn't even know he had nephews. The only nephews I thought about was like DuckTales.
Do you know I used to eat spinach just because of him when I was little? That's no lie. When my mom would buy me the Popeye brand spinach.
Did you know, and I just say this really to Josh, because Josh is a huge classic country fan. Obviously, Johnny Horton has north to Alaska. Well, actually, did you know Scotland is farther north than Alaska?
I can believe that. Like I'm in my mind, I'm stretching out the globe onto a flat surface looking at it. I can see that.
Some of these, that was going to be it, but some of these are just so interesting. A pig's orgasm can last as long as a half an hour. Like, man. If that pig's made whoopee once, even if you kill him and make bacon out of him, he's had a long and productive life.
Could you imagine, like, running up on him and like, oh, God.
What is he doing? If you're in Detroit and you walk south, you'll actually walk into Canada. A buttload is an actual unit of measurement equivalent to 126 gallons.
Ooh, here's something that I knew it, but I was reminding of it this weekend, and I thought about telling you. Like, we were talking about something, and it was like, like balls out. Do you know where that comes from? You may have been the one that told me. Like, if you sound like, man, we was like driving your car and we were just going balls out.
Oh, talking about the balls that spun.
On a steam engine.
Yeah.
That was their speedometer. They had little balls that would spin around in a circle. And when they got all the way out, you were going as fast as you could, so you're going balls out.
That's pretty cool. And
a lot of people think it's dirty, like, haha, balls out. No, it's...
And see, there's so many interesting facts. Like, we were going to cut it off here, but I just see so many that I feel like I have to share. I'll save some for next week, but there's tons. I mean, for instance, you think of dinosaurs. You imagine, like, the Tyrannosaurus fighting the Stegosaurus, But actually, there was less time between the existence of the Tyrannosaurus Rex and us than there was between the Tyrannosaurus Rex and the Stegosaurus. And how much sense does this make? Crocodiles, giant lizards that eat people, are more closely related to birds than they are to lizards. How does that work?
That's a weird family tree.
We're going to leave you on that one and let you just think about that for a minute. The giant lizard is not...
Like, don't read them all, because next week we'll be like, well, we don't have any cool random facts for you because Justin read them all.
Yeah, I just couldn't stop. Okay, well, we will talk to you next week, and for those of you that might not have found this one as funny, we're going more for...
I don't understand what you want.
It's like, what can we do? We do need to do the ward cursing somebody out.
Yeah.
That would be perfect. We might work on that. But regardless, we appreciate you listening.
Y'all won't quit using me to make money. I swear to God. I swear. I mean, that's getting old right there, boys. I ain't playing around. If you're going to use me to buy God Warburton, better get some damn money.
Well, that is going to do it. But we do thank you for listening. We will be back next week. And, as always.
Yeah, I don't have nothing else to add to that.
I have nothing to say to you. I'm Justin.
I'm Josh.
And we'll see you.